Hello everyone and welcome to my first ever attempt at a Facebook yoga class. I've had many technical difficulties, but I'm going to give it one more shot, see if this works. So welcome. I'm here at Lahari Yoga Studio all by myself on a kind of blustery day. It's turning kind of grumpy out there. So it's not very bright, don't have a lot of natural light coming in. Hopefully it will work. So let's just give it a shot. Before we start, if you have a yoga block at home, just grab it. They look like this. If you don't have a yoga block, go to your bookshelf. And maybe you have a big thick old tome sitting on there you haven't read in a while. This is a biography of Charles Darwin. I just finished it. It's fabulous. The reason I like it is because it's almost the same size as a yoga block. So if I didn't have my block handy, I could grab my book. And in between chapters, I could use it as a yoga block. So just turning down the background music. Also have some water handy so you can hydrate during the class. Always a good idea, or a cup of coffee, or whatever your favorite beverage is. Cheers, take a drink. And we'll get started. Alrighty, we'll move Charles Darwin out of the way. Get settled in, and let's just meet in a seated position on our mat, crossing legs if it's comfortable. If not, a leg in front, whatever feels comfortable to you. Some people find a little cushion or a blanket under the hips, raising the hips up can be comfortable as well. So just dropping the hands onto the knees, softening our gaze, and beginning to bring the focus into the breath. The inhale, the exhale. As we inhale, feeling our spine lengthen, get longer, taller, lifting up to the heavens. And as we're exhaling, maybe letting our hips sink into the earth, sinking down. And sometimes it's fun to make our breath audible. It's called the Ujjayi breath in yoga, where we actually kind of feel that draggy feeling of the breath on the back of the throat, kind of like the waves crashing on the shore or leaves rustling in the trees. What that does, it does actually serve to calm us when we let the exhale breath in particular be nice and loud and free. So bringing that focus to the breath, noticing our thoughts if they're dancing around. Maybe we can try to still them and bring them centered as we breathe. Feeling our hearts lifted, our hips sinking into the earth, our shoulders are back, our spines are long. A couple more breaths. Nice. Now breathing our hands up. Let's exhale in the heart center. We'll do a few of these just to get the breath moving through. Maybe our heart rate will increase a little bit, bring in some warmth. Big breaths feel so good, just to extend our arms. Breathe it down, a couple more. And last one, breathing up. And exhaling, hands down to heart center, noticing our hearts lifting. Our shoulders dropping back, our spines are long. Now let's breathe in our hands up to center again. Exhale, drop our left hand on our right knee, and let's let that other hand bring our gaze behind us as it drops towards the back wall, and our gaze follows. We tap our chins a little bit to lengthen our spine. We're breathing. Feeling both the hips sinking into the mat. Let's inhale those hands back up through center and exhale them to the other side. A nice elongating breath here, feeling our hips in the mat. Let's breathe our hands back up to center. Exhale, hand on knee to first side. Gaze drops behind us. Take us into the twist. Inhaling back through center and exhaling to the other side. bring those hands back up to center. Exhale the fingertips to the mat. Feel the shoulders drop behind us. Let's inhale. Exhale, walking those right fingertips away from us. Keep both hips on the mat. Flip the other palm. Come up over the side body. Our gaze is up towards the elbows. Feeling the opposite hip sinking into the earth. And breathing. Let's breathe our fingertips back down the mat. Walk them towards the other wall. Flip the other palm. Inhale and exhale over the side body. Opposite hip sinking into the earth. Nice. Let's do 2 more of those. It feels so good. Inhaling fingertips back to the mat. Walking them away. Flipping the palm over the side body. And back through center. One more time, that second side, walking the fingertips away, flipping the other palm, coming over the side. Inhaling back through center. Now let's place those hands behind us on the mat. Fingertips or palms of the hand, doesn't matter, they're pointing behind us. And feeling our shoulders squeezing back, lifting our hearts. Let's breathe in our gaze upwards. And exhale it down. Inhale, lifting our hearts. Exhale, a little rounding of the spine, dropping down. We'll do 2 more. We'll inhale our hearts up. And exhale them down. And last one, inhaling our hearts and our gaze upwards. And exhaling it down. Nice. All right, let's come back up. Now extending our right leg on the diagonal in front of us, kind of to the side, tucking our left foot just into the upper thigh. We've got our one knee bent, going to open up our wings and turn our bodies, our torsos, a little bit towards that bent knee. Dropping the front hand down, so it's grazing the lower leg. Let's breathe in. Exhale that back hand forward to meet the front. And our gaze will follow the moving hand. We'll inhale it open again, like we're opening a gate or a fan. Exhaling it closed. Really loving the opening here. Inhaling it open. Exhaling closed. One more. We'll inhale it open. This time we'll plant that hand down on the mat, near that bent knee. And come up on the lower leg, pointing the toe, pointing the fingers, stretching across the diagonal line of the body into our stargazer pose, reaching and breathing. Nice. Let's breathe that down, release it. Back down to the mat. Bring our knees in for a hug. Opportunity to straighten our spines. Tuck our chin. Get our sits bones on the mat. Roll our shoulders behind us. Feels so good. All right, now we'll lengthen that other leg, that second leg. Probably your left leg. We'll bend that right knee. Excuse me, open up our wings. Turn our torso a wee bit towards that bent knee. Drop the front hand a little bit so it's kind of grazing the lower leg, breathing in. Exhaling that back hand forward to meet the front. Let's let the gaze follow that moving hand. We'll inhale it open. Exhale it close. Inhale it open. Exhale closed. And inhale it open. This time, once again, we'll plant that hand on the mat. Come up on the lower leg and the knee. Sweep that other hand across, pointing from fingertips to the pointy toes across the diagonal of the body. Into stargazer on this side. Breathing the whole time, always breathing. And let's sweep that back down. And we'll come up into hero's pose, which is simply back on our heels. If this is painful, we can come up on our toes. Now, in this position, either up at the toes or down the heels, let's put our hands on our lower backs. Send some love, some attention, some some energy towards that area. Our kidneys live there, our adrenal glands, which can get quite overworked at times. Sending them some love. Breathing into our lower backs. Feeling the lengthening of the spine, the shoulders roll back. Now let's breathe our hearts and our gaze upwards. And exhale our forehead down to our knees. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, forehead to knee, rolling through the spine. Inhaling up. Exhaling, forehead to knee. We'll do one more of these. Inhaling up. And exhaling your forehead to your knees. Dropping down, just hang out here for a minute. We're actually landed in child's pose, which is quite convenient. Let's slide our hands forward. Let our foreheads drop to the mat into a child's pose. Feeling a beautiful expansion of the breath in the lower back when we're bent over, folded over like this. Shoulders, fingertips reaching forward. If it's kind of uncomfortable on the shoulders, feel free, of course, to bring the hands behind you. One more breath. And then we'll come up, and we'll come up on our knees this time. And just a little yoga tip. If your mat is thin, I'm facing sideways, so you're probably maybe facing a long end of your mat. Either way, we can always fold over the mat. In this case, we've got wings happening, because it gives us some extra cushion to the knees. So if that's happening for you, it's a discomfort in the knees. Whenever we're on our knees, feel free to fold over the mat or place a pillow or a blanket underneath your knees. All right, we're on our knees. Let's extend our left leg outwards to the side. We have the sole of our foot, I'm going to kick my water bottle out of the way, sole of my foot on the mat. I'm going to open up our wings, palms down. Breathing in. Let's exhale that right hand down to the mat and look up at our outstretched fingers above us. Breathing. Let's inhale back to pillow with the floor. Exhale the left hand down so it grazes the lower leg. And looking at that upstretched hand. Let's inhale back to neutral. Exhale, hand to the floor. Look up at that hand. Inhale back through center. And exhale that hand graze the lower leg. Feel free to bring it over if you prefer. Back to center. Great. Let's bring our knees down. Drop down into another child's pose. Lowering our hips onto our heels. Reaching our fingertips in front and inviting our forehead to the mat. Beautiful. Let's come up. We'll do the other side. Back on our knees. Extending the right leg long. Sole of the foot on the mat or the floor if it's reaching that far. Rolling our shoulders back. Let's lift up our wings, palms down, nice and strong here, enjoying that power pose. Let's breathe in and exhale as we drop that left hand towards the earth. Take our gaze upwards towards the outstretched hand. Let's breathe back through center. Exhale, sliding the other hand just a little bit along that lower leg as we raise the other hand and gaze skyward. Inhaling back through center. We'll do one more each side. Exhaling down. And inhaling back through center. Exhaling down. Straight arm or bring it across. Just find your version. Doesn't matter. Anything is open here. Great. Let's come out of that. Whatever you want to. And we're just going to bring our feet now to the mat. Either flat feet or up on the toes, or if neither of those is comfortable for you, grab your Charles Darwin book or your block, just set under your hips. Find your version, what feels best, whether you're flat-footed or up on your toes. And we will put our hands, lengthen the spine, Drop the chin. With our elbows against the inside of our knees, this gives us the option to exert some pressure with the elbow against the knee against the elbow. Take as much or as little as you want here. Find your version. The spine is lengthening. We're breathing deeply, deeply into our lower torso. Loving the expansion that we're feeling down there. So much breath. Nice. All right, let's plant our hands in front of us on the mat or on the floor. Just kind of square off, now pushing with our feet, our toes, into the mat. Pushing, sink them into the earth, which is rising our hips up. Notice the hips coming up. Into a forward fold. Knees can be soft. Dropping the head, making sure it's really loose and relaxed. Let's take our opposite elbow and the opposite palm and just exploring our space a little bit, going left to right or bobbing up and down like an upside down bobble head, maybe doing a figure eight, just exploring, moving through space. See what feels good. Bit of a stretch for our hamstrings here. Neck stays really loose here, like it's made out of jello, hanging out, bouncing, moving smoothly through space. Great, and dropping our hands. Take our right hand, this is placed on our left calf or shin. Take that left hand up to the left hip and gently take our gaze towards that hand. If we want a little more, we can extend that hand upwards and our gaze as well into a twist. Let's breathe that hand back down. We'll take the other side. Left hand on the right shin or calf, hand on hip, gaze towards the hand, turning towards that hand, and if you want to stretch that hand upwards, go ahead. Beautiful, let's drop that back down. Now pushing through our feet, we're going to come all the way up, slowly rolling through the spine. Our head stays relaxed. We're stacking vertebrae one on top of the other as we slowly roll up into our standing position, feeling our shoulders roll back. Nice. Okay, here we are. Let's turn this into something special. Grounding our feet into the earth, straight down. Now we're dialing them away from each other. So they're down and they're away from each other, feeling the Mula Bandha kick in, the abdominals engaged. They go zipping up our zipper, breathing with the feet pressing down and away. Roll your shoulders back, lifting our hearts, strong palms facing forward, our spines are long, and here we are. Welcome to Tadasana or mountain pose. We're breathing. Nice, let's breathe our hands up. Steeple the fingers at the top, and exhale as we tip to one side, and the opposite foot is grounding into the earth. Breathing. Let's inhale back through center. Exhale, other side, grounding the opposite foot into the earth. And our gaze comes up. Breathing back through center. Taking that first side. And back through center. And over to the second side. The opposite foot is grounding down into the earth. Our gaze is up. And back through center. Exhale your arms down to shoulder height, shoulders behind us, palms are upwards. Let's breathe in. Exhale, turn towards the right, turn our torso as we rotate. Our gaze will take our body back. Breathing back through center and turning slowly towards the other side. Our body will follow our gaze. So let's take our gaze there, making sure the arms are staying both like kind of separated. Inhaling center so they're not kind of coming together. Staying really open, opening our hearts back to center, and exhaling the other side. Good job. All right, let's come back to center and meeting at the top of our mats. Everybody, ready to go? I'm going to come to the side of my mat. We're going to breathe our hands up. Exhale, dropping down with a flat back, diving down, and letting our hands drop to the mat. as we exhale. Inhaling part way up to a flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back. We'll bend the knees this first time, flatten the feet. And checking out our hands below us, feeling all 10 fingers pressing into the earth. Let's sink them in. And like we did with the feet earlier in Tadasana, let's dial those hands away from each other. Notice that the elbow creases come forward. And because we're pushing the hands into the earth, our shoulders are down. We're not hunched up. Our shoulders are down. We're creating space between our shoulders and our ears. With this engagement, let's breathe in. Exhale and slowly lower down to the mat, very slowly. Elbows tucked in, grazing the ribs, down the mat. Now inhaling as we press our hands into the mat, lift our hearts. Exhale it down. Inhale, pressing it up. Into the earth, exhaling down. And this time we'll tuck our toes. We'll inhale it up. As we exhale, we'll bring our hips up and over, and you're going to drop on the back of our heels as you gently lower down into our puppy pose, inviting the forehead to be on the mat. Breathing. All right, let's breathe out back through center, flatten the feet. Engage the hands and pressing them down and away from each other. Elbows coming forward, shoulders back. Breathing in. Exhale slowly with full control, dropping down. Our elbows stay tucked in, so they're grazing the ribs. Down to the mat. And inhaling as we push our hands into the earth. And exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. And inhaling up again as we tuck our toes. Invite the the hips to come up, over and back. Land very gently on the back of the heels as we invite our forehead to the mat. All right, coming up to our tabletop position. We still have our toes tucked. Pressing with our hands in the mat, pressing our toes, we're going to let our hips rise up into a downward facing dog pose. Now what does this look like? Our hands and feet are pressing away from each other. We're creating space between our ears and our shoulders, and we're flattening our backs between our shoulders. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bend the knees down. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale up. Exhale, bend the knees. One more inhale up, and we'll keep it here. Breathing. Press those hands away from us. Inviting the heels towards the mat. They don't have to get there. You can absolutely have a micro bend in the knees. Nice. Now lifting the left leg up behind us. We're going to inhale and exhale now as we take it towards the left elbow. The left knee, left elbow. Let's inhale it back up. Exhale, take it towards the right elbow. Inhale it back up. And this time, as we exhale, we'll bring it all the way through so it comes between the hands in front, however it needs to get there. Not a worry. I'm just going to grab my block. Here, okay. Here we are in a lunge. Note here that back leg can be bent on the mat, flat foot, or straight with a tucked toe. Now the block can come in handy here. What the block often does, sometimes it makes our arms longer. So if it's going to be easier having the block here to work against, give it a try. The right hand is pressing into the earth or the block on the inside of the left foot. Notice as we press that left foot into the earth, pressing it down, hand in the foot, pressing down. Our hips are drawing up. Now taking left hand on the left hip, let's turn towards that hip. And extend that left arm skywards if we want to, if it feels like the right thing to do. outside of the foot, pressing that foot again into the earth so that we're slowly rising up, placing our hands on our knees, rolling our shoulders back. Again, that back knee can be bent or it can be straight. Your choice here. This might be enough. One little more, we can inhale our hands up. And exhale them, sweeping them down either side of the knee. Inhale them up. Exhale them down. And one more time, inhaling them up. This time we'll exhale them down, flap them either side of that front foot. And invite that back foot to come forward. To meet the front, plant it down, walk it out a couple times. Letting the head hang down, forward fold, we're breathing. All right, head hanging down. Another breath. Now we'll press those feet into the earth to rise ourselves slowly up. Stacking the vertebrae one by one, breathing our hands up. And exhaling, hands to heart center. Beautiful. Take a drink if you need to. I just have to turn down the heat here. And we'll meet again in front of the mat to do the other side. Here we are in our that Tadasana pose, that mountain pose, where our feet are engaged, our shoulders are back, our hearts are lifted. Now breathing in as we lift our hands up. Exhale as we dive it down to flat back. Hands to the mat. Inhaling partway up to a flat back. Exhale, planting the hands. We're going to step it back. One more time. Options here, we're in a lunge. Again, the feet, knees can be bent or legs can be straight. Either one, whichever one you choose. Checking out the hands that are straight underneath the shoulders. They're sinking into the earth, away from each other. Elbow creases forward, shoulders are back. We're breathing in. Exhaling as we slowly lower down. Full control, keeping the elbows in. Down to the mat. Nice. Flattening the feet. Walking those hands, palms of the hands ahead of us, so our elbows and forearms are on the mat. Into Sphinx pose. We're going to inhale as we lift our hearts, pressing those hands into the mat. Exhale it down. Inhale, pressing those hands and lower arms into the mat. Exhale it down. One more time. Exhale it down. Now make a fist with your hands. We're on our lower arms, tucking the toes. Let's just come up into a plank. Breathing. Take 3 more breaths in our plank. Pressing those elbows into the mat so our shoulders are away from the ears, so we're not hunching our shoulders. We're breathing. One more breath. Okay, let's let those knees come to the mat. Take them to the long side of the mat, the outside of the mat. Our toes touching on the inside and dropping our hips back onto our heels for a wide-legged child's pose. Feels so good. Inviting our forehead to the mat for 3 deep breaths. Coming up to our tabletop position, planting our hands, tucking our toes, pressing up into our second downward facing dog, inviting heels to the floor, feet and hands push away from each other. Noticing the flattening of the upper back between the shoulder blades. Noticing the space between the elbows and the ears. Noticing the heels being invited to the floor. Maybe there's a little micro bend in your knees. Breathing. All right, planting the left foot into the mat. We're lifting up the right leg behind us with a straight leg. breathing in. Let's exhale that knee to the left elbow. Inhale it long. Exhale right elbow. Inhale, extend. This time exhale that foot, bring it all the way through. Help it there if it needs to. If it doesn't want to get there on its own, that's fine. All right, we're in our lunge. Again, the back leg can be bent with a flat foot or a straight leg. Grab your block or Charles Darwin, plant it at the inside of your foot. If you want the extra length here, I'll use it this time. So I'm pressing my foot straight down into the earth. I'm pressing my hand against the block or the book or into the mat. My hips are being drawn up. By that foot pressing down, the hips are drawing up. Taking the right hand onto the right hip, turning towards that hand, and extending that hand upwards. Let's breathe that hand back to the mat. Lose the book or the block. Pressing that front foot into the mat. Pressing, so we're noticing that we're drawing up, and our hands are going to land on that front knee. Again, that back leg can be bent or straight. Our shoulders are back. That front foot is grounding us, we're pressing into the earth. This might be enough for balance pose and strength pose. If you want more, we can inhale our hands up. Exhale, sweep them down. Inhale them up. Exhale, sweep them down. We'll do one more. We'll inhale them up. We'll exhale, we'll plant the hands on the mat in front of us, other side of that foot. Invite that back foot forward, plant it beside the other, walk it out, hanging down, hanging out, letting the head drop down. Forward fold. Nice. Let's roll slowly up through the spine. Stop the vertebrae. Get to the top. We'll breathe the hands up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Grab a drink of water. Hydrate. And when we're ready, front of our mats, we'll take a giant step back with the right foot. Now I'm mirroring you, just so you know. Now that back foot is going to turn towards the front, and that bent knee, the toes are pointed that way. So the toes are kind of in like a right angle formation. We're feeling the feet pressing away from each other, right? Now let's open up our hands, palms down to a very strong warrior two. Shoulders rolling back, powerful pose here. We're breathing. Keeping our front knee kind of over that ankle so we're not too far ahead, but we have a large, wide stance. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bend that front elbow onto the knee. Come up over into our extended side angle. Our gaze is lifted. Let's breathe that back through warrior two. And exhale, dropping that back hand along the lower leg, flipping the top hand as we throw away the weapon into exalted warrior. Option to wrap that lower hand around the waist. Let's breathe back through warrior two. Exhale, bend that elbow, come over into our side angle. Inhale back through warrior. Exhale into exalted. Inhale through our warrior. We'll do one more. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, exalted. Warrior. Back into warrior two. Now take your hands behind us, grasp them together, squeeze the shoulder blades together. This might be enough. If we want to, we can drop down our chest onto our knee. Bring a hand there if it feels more comfortable. Hands on knee or behind us. This is called Humble Warrior. Everyone do with your hands here. Nice. Let's come back up out of that. Find a Warrior Two. Straighten our front knee. Do a straight leg. Hitch the hip. Reach with that front hand. Reach, reach, reach. Tip on over into our triangle. If your block is handy, now would be a good time to grab it because it's kind of nice to have the block there to land on when we go into our triangle. We don't need it, of course. We can have the hand kind of hanging there or reaching towards the floor. But for some of us, having the block as a landing pad lets us focus more on the rotation of the torso rather than the reaching towards the floor. Breathing here. Imagine we're suspended between two panes of glass. Nice. Okay, let's release it. Come back up through our Warrior Two. Point our toes forward. So we're in a very wide stance here. Pointing our hands on our lower back again, sitting left to our kidneys. Super wide stance. We're going to slowly fold forward, not fold, reach forward, a flat back, keeping it flat, feeling the feet grounded on the floor. And when we get to where we know it's time, we'll roll our spine, drop our hands to the floor, and let our head relax. This is a wide-legged forward fold. Now let's walk our fingertips forward, taking up lots of space if you got it in your living room or wherever you're doing this. Walking the hands forward, really loving and feeling the stretch. We've got our feet wide apart. We're walking the hands forward, taking up lots of room. Breathing deeply into our bellies, our backs. Nice, let's walk those hands back, the same plane as the feet. And walking them over towards the left foot. Walking them over. Now bending that other knee, use my hands for support, bending the knee into a side lunge. Breathing. And walking those hands back through center, over towards the other foot. Bending that knee that the hands walk towards into a side lunge. Lengthening our spine here. Breathing into that beautiful lunge. Walking hands back through center, over towards that first foot, hands supporting, lifting the toes of that long-legged foot to the ceiling, pivoting on the heel, gets us in a little bit of a deeper stretch here. Breathing. Now flattening that foot back to the floor, walking the fingers back through center to that other side, lifting the straight-legged toes to the ceiling, pivoting on the heel, flattening that foot once again, walking fingers back to center, and now heel and toe those feet back towards the midline, stopping at about shoulder width apart, into our forward fold, dropping our head. Feeling our feet grounding into the earth, pressing into the feet to rise up through the spine. Slowly stacking the vertebrae one by one as we breathe our hands up and exhale them, hands to heart center. Gorgeous. We'll do the other side. Take a step back to the front of our mats. Ready, everybody? We're going to take a giant step back with the right foot this time. Or, see, I'm mirroring you. The other foot. I'll just say the other foot. Whatever foot you didn't do last time. Taking a step back. Again, those toes are facing frontwards. The bent knee toes are facing towards the end of the mat. So again, they're kind of on a bit of a right angle. Back to mat class here. All right, the knee bend. We don't want the knee to come over the foot here. We want it to be generally over the knee, but a wide stance feels fabulous. Take up lots of space. Let's open up our arms, palms down. Take our gaze forward over that front middle finger. Warrior Two. Let's breathe in. Exhale, bending that front elbow onto the knee. Come up over into our extended side angle. Our gaze is up. We're breathing. breathe back through center. Exhale that backhand, sliding it down the leg a little bit. Exalted warrior, we're throwing away the weapon on top. We're still breathing. Breathing back through our warrior two. Exhaling, bending that elbow, coming over the side. Gaze is up. Inhaling back through center. Exhaling, exalted warrior. Option to wrap that arm around the waist. Whatever feels best. We'll do one more, inhaling back through warrior two. Exhaling. I don't know about you guys, I'm looking out the window, some snow falling here. I thought we were done with that. Inhaling back through our warrior. Exhaling back to exalted. Into our warrior two, inviting our hands to join behind us, squeezing our shoulders together, dropping our chest towards that front knee. You can go all the way down if you like. Hands can go to the floor or arms on the knee. Whatever feels best, safest, most comfortable. Find your version of this pose. Exalted warrior. All right, let's slowly come up. Find your warrior two again. Straighten the front knee, leg. Reach, hitch the hip back, reach, reach, reach. Come on over into our Trikonasana, our triangle pose. If the block is there, we can use it as a landing pad. Mine's out of reach right now, so I'm just going to pretend it's there. Taking our gaze upwards. Those fingers are strong, like starfish fingers. We're breathing. Nice. One more breath. Great. Let's come back into our warrior two. Once again, bring our toes towards the front of the mat. This time adjusting our stance a little bit smaller, bringing our heels inwards. So we're going to be able to track our knees over our heels and ankles when we do this. Our hearts are open. Let's open up our arms. Spines are long, hearts are lifted. Powerful pose. Let's breathe in as we extend upwards. Starfish. Exhale it down, move your hands. Inhaling starfish. Nice and tall energy. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down, squeezing the shoulders, lengthening the spine tall. One more time, inhaling up. Exhaling down. Let's keep this here for a moment. Let's open up our hands, the starfish hands, and slowly press an air cushion together. Squeeze it. Nice and powerful. Bring our lower arms together and lifting the elbows. Keeping that squeezing going, keeping the arms working against each other. Breathing. All right, let's release that. Shake it out. Now grounding our right foot into the earth. I'm stepping off my mat here because it's spongy. Imagine there's roots spiraling down into the earth. They're red and they're strong and they're spiraling down, looping around a big red rock in the middle of the earth. Let's take our other leg wherever we want it. It can be down towards the floor. It can be below the knee. It can be up above the knee, just preferably not on the knee. This is tree pose. Find your version of arms. I'm going off camera here. You can prayer your hands at the top. You can open them up to make branches. You can have cactus hands. Come out. There's so many different versions. Tons of trees in the forest. Play with the arms. Find the ones that feel good today. We're breathing. Finding a drishti point in the distance, an unmoving point, often helps. Breathing in our tree. If you need to grab a chair or a wall, do so, of course. Use it every need. All right, let's bring that down slowly. Before you let that foot drop, let's grasp it with that lower hand. Invite the knee to go straight down, straight down. Now pressing that foot against the hand, we will tip over. Depending on how hard you press, keep pressing. it's going to tip us over into dance circles. And we're breathing. Nice, one more breath. All right, let's release that. We'll shake it out. Grab water if we need to. And when we're ready, we'll ground that other foot deeply into the earth. And again, imagine those red roots spiraling down, circling around a big rock to keep us grounded. Our hearts are lifted, our shoulders are back, we're so powerful. And whatever you want to do with that lower other foot, if it wants to be by the ankle, it can stay down near the floor. It can come up below the knee. It can be above the knee. Find your version. It's all balance. Doesn't matter what it looks like. Hold onto a chair or a wall if you want to. Find your arms. Any arms at all. This is your tree, your version. Balance poses are very, very important. They kind of keep us safe. We practice our balance. Chances are much better if we start to slip on the ice that we'll be able to catch ourselves and right ourselves. It's really a safety thing, especially as we get older, and I'm in that category. The more we keep our brains, our bodies, our minds, our spirits supple and flexible, the better we are in recovering. We become more resilient. That's our balance, whether we're on or off the mat. Taking another breath here. Let's let our hands drop down. Before we let that foot go, let's grab it. Inside, outside, you'll know it feels best. Inviting the knee to go straight down into the floor. I'm just going to turn to the side here so you can see this. So our knee is straight down. Finding that drishti point to keep our focus on. Pressing that foot into the hand. The more we press, the more it will tip us forward as we reach into our dance circles. Of course, we're breathing the whole time. Nice. Let's release that. Shake it out. And meet me, please, on our backs on the mat. We'll bring our knees in for a hug. A well-deserved hug. Let's rock a little bit side to side. Give that gentle massage on the back, lower back. Maybe you want to draw a circle in the air with your knees. With the breath, change the direction. Now extending the left leg long, let's open up that left leg along the floor. The right knee stays bent. And supporting that bent knee with the hand below the knee, let's let it drop to the outside of our bodies, opening up our hip joint. The elbow can rest on the floor for support. Feeling both our hips on the floor, feeling our shoulders connected to the floor. Opening up that opposite hand, breathing into the opening. Breathing that knee back through center. Let's grasp below the knee gently with the other hand, the opposite hand. I'm bringing my right knee over, inviting it across the body. We're extending the right arm long, taking the gaze towards that extended right hand into the twist. Now that right shoulder's off the mat. Just let it feel heavy, sinking towards the mat. So it's opening up our hearts. Gently opening up the shoulder joint, breathing into that. Beautiful heart opener, and the twist of the torso. Nice. Let's breathe that back through center. We'll bend the left knee, plant the sole of the foot on the floor. Place the right foot above that bent left knee, letting that right knee and hip drop over to the outside. Kind of like a number 4. Feeling our shoulders squared on the mat, our hips on the mat, engaging our abdominals. Let's draw that left knee towards the nose. Beautiful stretch for the hip here. with the option, if you like, to extend that leg up to the ceiling. Let's drop that left foot down on the mat now. Letting the right knee cross over the left like you're sitting in a chair. Opening up our wings, dropping our knees to the left side of the body, taking our gaze to the right hand that's extended. Breathing those knees back through center, crossing the midline, dropping to the right side of the body. Our gaze goes to the left side. Breathe those knees back through center. Back in for a hug. Rock and roll a bit, back side to side if you wish. And this time we'll extend the right leg long. Keep the left knee bent towards the chest. Supporting that left knee below the knee with the left hand. Let's let that knee drop over to the outside of the body. The elbow can land gently on the floor. Extending the right arm long. Breathing into that opening, feeling the hips on the floor, the shoulders on the floor. Okay, breathing that knee back across the center line, grasping it with the right hand, inviting it to cross over the body, extending the left arm long, taking our gaze to an extended hand. Again, that left elbow is off the mat. Well, let's feel how heavy it is. That is sinking towards the earth, opening up our heart. Great, breathing that knee back through center. Bending the right leg, planting the right foot on the floor. Placing the left foot above the right knee so the left knee can open up into a number 4. Shoulders on the mat, hips on the mat. Breathing in that opening if you want to engage the abdominals and invite that knee towards the nose. Go ahead, increase the stretch with the option to bring that foot skyward. Dropping that foot to the floor. Dropping the other foot to the floor, bent knees. Gonna do one thing here, which is gonna feel fabulous. Hands on the mat, beside the heels, near the heels, feeling our shoulders in the mat, the back of our heads in the mat, soles of our feet, our sacrum, that bony part of it between the hips. Now pressing with the feet into the earth, letting our hips draw up into a beautiful bridge pose. Breathing, making our bridges really tall. The more we press the feet into the mat, the taller our bridges get. Let's see if we can make it like a super tall Golden Gate Bridge. Let's breathe in. As we exhale, we'll slowly let the hips drop down. Feel the rolling through the spine. Down the mat. And we'll do one more inhale, drawing the hips up by pressing the feet into the earth. Pressing them, pressing them. Hips are getting higher because the feet are pressing down. Hands can press into the mat too. Shoulders pressing into the mat. Super strong bridges, really tall. And exhaling it down. Inviting our both feet above us. Grasping the toes or the inside or the outside of the foot. Let's invite those heels towards the ceiling and let our knees then drop down to either side of the happy baby. Feels so good. Maybe you want to rock this baby a little bit back and forth, one side to the other. Maybe you want to play and bend and straighten the knees, be kind of goofy, happy baby, moving around, exploring your space. I'm falling over, falling off my surfboard. All right, a couple more breaths here. And we'll bring those feet back to center, bring them back to the mat.
And now super long stretches, sending our hands back behind us and lengthening our legs, breathing into this super stretch. From fingertips to toes, breathing and stretching, breathing and stretching. And let it go. Moving into our final Shavasana pose. This is where you just get to be super comfy. Whether it means lying on your back or lying on your side, bending your knees, keeping your knees so they lean together in the middle, whatever feels really comfy for you. We're just going to take a few moments here for you. As you worked hard, take this time for you. Bring the attention back to the breath. Breathing in, breathing out, breathing in, and breathing out. Coming back to your breath. Coming back to your mat. Coming back to the room. Coming back to you. Maybe moving the head a little bit side to side, bringing some gentle movement back into the neck. Maybe touching individual fingers one by one to the thumb. The pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, the pinky finger, the ring finger, the middle finger, the pointer finger. Wiggling the toes, the ankles, and slowly making our way onto a favorite side, left or right side, doesn't matter. Maybe you want to cradle your head with your arm on the way there, taking another couple of breaths. As we transition slowly, and please meet me in a seated position back on the mat when you're ready. Take your time. get there, we'll open our hands to receive. Let's take a beautiful full breath up. Embrace. Exhale it down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And last time, big super breath, inhaling up. Exhaling down. And as we navigate our way through these most unusual of times, it's my deepest wish that we all stay healthy in mind and spirit and body, that our loved ones stay healthy, that we feel motivated and valued and of worth, and that we find some special moments of quiet and peace and tenderness that in our usual busy lives maybe sometimes get missed. So I wish you all safety, wellness, happiness, joy, let your hearts shine through, let your light shine. Enjoy your day, stay safe. I love you all. Thank you.